In today's videos, I will discuss about super hit movie Multiverse of Madness. The cutting-edge Wonder continuation is as multi-outfitted as Specialist Peculiar doing magic. Contemplate the number of properties that are being spin-off ed in Specialist Odd in the Multiverse of Franticness. It's a continuation of Specialist Peculiar, albeit in that you presumably need to, by a hair, have seen that film, not exactly the weird experiences that followed. It's a continuation of Vindicators, Final Plan and Bugman, not a chance home in that it references activity in the two movies and extrapolates to some degree on the universe-saving choice that the title character made in the previous. It's a lot of a continuation of WandaVision, the show that extended the Wonder true-to-life universe into TV. What's more, for a specific age, it's sort of a spin-off of when Sam Raimi was one of the most boss movie producers alive. Maybe these devotions are at the foundation of why Multiverse of Frenzy never fosters its own character and profundity. It's a Franken-movie, a blockbuster sewn together from bits of different movies, comic books, and programs and given existence with the power of a Wonder financial plan. After a horribly lengthy development, Specialist Unusual 2 picks up some speed thanks to Raimi's visual pizzazz, however even that runs out. You truly can't return home once more. Spoilers will be exceptionally light. Sit back and relax. Dr. Stephen Abnormal is going to the wedding of his lonely love Christine Palmer, Rachel McAdams, when disorder emits in the road outside, and the way that Michael Stuhlbarg's name is on the banner for his single, early film scene at the wedding feels like a specialist's upset. A huge octopus-like animal is pursuing a young lady named America Chavez, Xochitl Gomez, across aspects, causing bedlam en route. Odd and Wong, Benedict Wong, jump right into it to save the young lady and discover that America is looked for her capacity to cross imaginary worlds, in spite of the fact that she can't actually control when she does as such. Weird suspects that black magic might be involved, which drives him to look for the direction of Wanda, Elizabeth Olsen, who is as yet faltering from the deficiency of her kids toward the finish of the Disney Plus show and enthralled of the underhanded Darkhold, a book of detestable spells that Raimi fans will presumably note seems to be the Necronomicon. Wanda will take the necessary steps to reside in the universe where she actually has her kids, despite the fact that Vision's presence is scarcely referred to, which releases confusion for Bizarre, Wong, and America that includes Mordo, Chiwetel Ejiofor, a couple of exemplary characters, and, all things considered, a few new faces with natural names. There's a succession moderately right on time in Multiverse of Frenzy wherein Peculiar and America fly through imaginary worlds, including one that looks enlivened and one where their bodies are made of paint. I got energized. I figured after what felt like an endless setup that Raimi and company were going to explode the Wonder equation machine and make a true-to-life film that felt like Bugman, Into the Bug stanza. Envision that. A visual craftsman like Raimi with a cutting-edge MCU financial plan and complete artistic liberty. You'll need to envision it since this film isn't keen on that sort of potential. Multiverse of Franticness is a film that continually stands up against its own potential outcomes. It has a plot that might have imaginatively shocked watchers again and again with new minor departure from the actual idea of a world with legends in it and a chief ready to go there. In any case, it's obviously a result of a substance machine, battling against its own personal circumstances since distancing any of the large numbers of potential viewers is terrified. The feeling that these films just fake interest in being bizarre when they're similarly ordinary as can be makes them all the really baffling. Both WandaVision and Loki faced more inventive challenges. Fundamentally. Which makes it a situation with two sides when the Sam Raimi who coordinated Bugman 2 and Fiendish Dead 2 comes join the party partially through and afterward truly gets moving in the last venture. Without spoilers, Multiverse of Franticness begins to include the strolling dead, and the Raimi who changed the loathsomeness kind demonstrates he actually has some life left in him. There are some imaginatively organized and executed activity groupings in Multiverse of Franticness that just might have been made by the head of Drag Me to Damnation, and those minutes are effectively the film's features and nearly salvage it. One simply wishes it didn't take such a long time to get to them and that they weren't fastened to a film that over and over again has no clue about how to manage that energy. Rather than letting Multiverse of Frenzy take innovative flight, the story continues to return to unbelievably shallow person characteristics like Wanda's pain, peculiar simplicit love for Christine, or America's vulnerability about her own powers. None of these reverberate. The person-circular segments here are so surprisingly powerless that the exhibitions endure as well. Cumberbatch is fine, yet he's a casualty of a film that is so plot-weighty that he's for the most part running starting with one CGI succession, then on to the next. Furthermore, I'm anxious to see how the magnetic Gomez can manage a lot more grounded character. Tune in. I know MCU films aren't for the most part puts for profound person work. I'm trying to say it's significantly more shallow here than ordinary, particularly taking into account how the commonly dependable Olsen nailed this person in her past excursion. It's miserable to see her and the person make a stride back as opposed to investigating the thoughts in the show that bore her name. Promotion. When that specialist odd in the multiverse of franticness was taking out the universe-bowing scenes that will likely be ruined by Friday evening, I began to contemplate whether there's a limit to these CGI blowouts that serve such countless different properties they neglect to be fascinating all alone. There have been objections about MCU properties that vibe like they exist simply to get individuals intrigued by the following film or program, however, it's never felt such a lot of like a snake eating its own tail as it does here. Or possibly the spell has worn off for me.